My husband, 30 male, has been ignoring me, 28 female, for 4 days. I am on day 4 of the silent treatment and I don't know what to do. If I need to try harder or continue letting him have space. So the other day we were eating and he says, "Nice ring." I'm NGL. I got excited. I thought maybe it was like a Mother Day gift or something. Then I realized I had a ring of sauce wrapped around my finger and I said, "Ha, get me a real one." It was automatic response because I felt embarrassed. In hindsight that was pretty catty and not really a relevant response. Anyways, he immediately shuts down and tells me how I'm not fun to joke around with anymore. I was hurt. I had been joking around with him for like an hour or 2 before this. So I was like, "Why are you being dramatic? It's not that serious, and I'm only saying that because you always say I'm dramatic." Somehow the argument kept escalating because he was obviously very hurt by my initial comment, and he was telling me how I am a gold digger because I wanted him to buy me a ring, a house, a car, etc. So I am getting really angry, because yes, my joke maybe had some underlying truth but it wasn't intentionally nasty. So I basically wiped out the argument by saying, "I don't know why you're so mad, you can't afford it and that's not my fault." And I know that hurt him really bad because everything got quiet after that. Later that night I tried to apologize and he just said, "Ha," so I felt anxious in going any further. The next morning, I asked if we could talk and he said, "No, not today." On the 3rd day I text him at work and say, "Please let me know when you're ready," and he left me on read. So 4th day, still completely ignoring me and avoiding eye contact. Side note, it's very normal in our culture for the man to provide. Seeing as he expects me to play into that traditional role as well of being the one that cooks and cleans, I don't see the big deal in expecting him to provide for me but he isn't rich, and that's totally okay. He does what he needs to do, like pay the rent and groceries, and that's really all I need. I do not want a wedding ring because I literally wanted a rock. I wanted the experience of a proposal. Anyways, it wasn't that serious to me and it's not like I'm dying for it. We've been together for almost 10 years. I'm really not sure how I'm suddenly a gold digger if I've been okay without financial situation this whole time. IDK if any of this part is relevant. And #X200B. Anyway, I know I hurt him and bruised his ego really bad, and I feel like a bitch. I want to talk about it and explain myself, but I feel like the longer he avoids me, the more angry I become. He has said and done much more hurtful things in the past we were able to work through, and at no point did I ever avoid him for this long. Do I need to try harder to make him talk to me? I really need guidance. Bruh, I literally gasped at the "you can't afford it" comment. You're wild for that one. How culturally taboo is it for you to get a job? Have you talked openly with him about it? I get the impression this topic of needling him on his financial capacity isn't a one-off thing with you. You're not funny, it's mean. Haha, you have sauce on your finger. It looks like a ring. Yeah. Well, you're poor and a bad provider. That was uncalled for. What is it with you and digs about jewelry? Yeah. Well, it's not like you can afford any for me. I'd say you need to talk to him less. 100% emotional abuse. I'd leave him. I'd like the opportunity to apologize and discuss with you what happened. However, 4 days of the silent treatment is totally unhealthy and, arguably, abusive. By not addressing the problems we have, I don't see a way forward with you. Let me know what you'd like to do. Then go about your business, unhook from his treatment of you. Go see friends. Do your regular routine as if everything is fine with you. Either he will see the treatment isn't working anymore and we'll have a conversation, or he will double down and start another fight. You decide what you want to do from there. If it were me, I'd be seeing a divorce lawyer as part of that time while letting him think. This is awful behavior, you deserve better. My husband, 29M, and I, 28F, are at a standoff and I don't know if I should cave first. Guys, I need help. To preface, my husband's job requires him to carry a gun with him at all times in public, but he keeps leaving ammo and magazines everywhere, and we have kids. I've been giving my husband grief about it for almost a year, maybe more. He goes through periods of being careful, periods of being careless. I don't feel like he has an excuse to be irresponsible, because his job literally requires him to be careful. He doesn't think it's a big deal, because ammo can't fire itself, true, but that's not my issue. My issue is that we have a toddler who gets into everything and I'm literally finding ammo everywhere. It's all over the garage. I find bullets in our washer, dryer. I find them on the floor, in our room, in our closet. He has a large gun safe. He has storage in the garage. He has means to keep it off the floor and out of reach, but he simply won't. Well, today, when I get home from dropping my kid off at school, I find a full magazine in our car, just hanging out. I childishly text my brother-in-law and his wife, "I won't be attending our lunch date today until my husband decides to clean up his shit," and sent a photo of the loaded magazine. My brother-in-law just laughs, and then my husband makes a joke about forgetting it in the car. So, I go inside the house, start accusing him of not caring about how I feel or taking me seriously. I tried giving a small ultimatum that I won't be hanging out with him or his family until he cleans it up. He apologizes for forgetting the mag, but then starts talking to me sarcastically and insincerely, like as if he's just going through the motions to appease me. I take offense and literally yelling about how everyone is acting like I'm blowing this out of proportion and treating me like I'm overreacting. I get mad and start walking away to hide in our room, and he yells, "I'm literally trying to talk to you about it," implying that I'm not trying to work through our problem. I yelled, "Screw you. No you're not," and slammed our bedroom door. And now I'm sitting here, panicking because I was awful. How do I come back from this? I am sorry, but does he deserve an apology considering? Would it be a bad idea to give him a bigger ultimatum about the ammo, like threatening to leave? When I tried giving him a small ultimatum that I wouldn't be hanging out with him or his family until I stopped finding bullets everywhere, and he ended up rolling his eyes and saying, okay, I'll stop leaving it out. It was significant other insincere. I'm retired police officer. I've had firearms, tasers, and pepper spray in the house from the time my children were toddlers up through them moving out. Your husband is being an irresponsible ass. There is no reason for him or any firearm owner to be that irresponsible. You shouldn't cave at all. If your husband's employer knew about his carelessness, would he still be employed? Probably not. If he can't do something as simple as keeping gun ammo out of the reach of toddlers, he shouldn't be trusted with the gun or ammo in the first place. Not okay. Your husband is being careless, irresponsible, unsafe, and just plain childish. Bullets don't just go off, sure, but a small child can easily choke on one. It is unlikely that a round will go off in a washer-dryer cycle, but it is possible it can damage things from banging around inside. Stepping on a bullet doesn't hurt as much as a Lego, but it still isn't something someone should need to worry about in their own home. Part of responsibly securing firearms is also responsibly storing ammunition, which he is grossly failing to do. Irrespective of all of that, he's a grown-ass adult who should have learned to pick up after himself, but he's perfectly satisfied with inconveniencing his spouse rather than taking responsibility for his own messes. Girl, you're going to get your kids taken away. I hope it happens before one of your children accidentally kills themselves or the other, or you. You leave yesterday. Put the fear of God into him. Tell him your toddler put a bullet in their mouth and you had to run and sweep their mouth so they didn't choke. He doesn't need to know it's a lie. Tell him you're done fucking around. Clean up his act or you and your kids are out. Girlfriend, 27F, wants my mom, 48F, to leave the house. Advice. Hello everyone. A little background. I am 26M software engineer. My mom, 48F, lives with me, divorced long back. Never remarried. She is dependent on me currently as I am paying for the house in which we live and all the bills etc. Now, I am about to marry my GF, 27F, who is also a software engineer. Recently, while planning for marriage, my girlfriend said that my mom should leave the house after we marry. To which I got a bit surprised because I wasn't expecting this. When I asked her what's the issue in my mom living with us, she bluntly stated that there is no point of discussions here. It's something that she can't compromise or live with, and my mom must leave the house immediately after we get married. I tried to convince her by explaining why my mom is living with me as she is dependent on me, she is all alone. Never tried to get remarried after her divorce just to raise me good, and when I started earning she left her workplace too. And now how can I ask her to leave? To this, my girlfriend said that I am just behaving like a mama's boy. Here, she blamed everything on my mom. That it's her choice to stay single and not getting married again, and now she is fulfilling her emotional needs from me. I was shocked hearing all this. Girlfriend has basically declared that she will not tolerate me paying for all the bills of my mom after we get married, and it's best for my mom to stand up on her feet again and settle down somewhere else. When I said she will be all alone, immediately my GF's reply was, "She is just 48. It's high time for her to start dating again. She will find someone. Don't behave like her husband. You don't owe your mom anything. Now, I love my girlfriend and she loves me too, I know that. I just don't know why she has started to hate my mom. Why she is getting insecure of her, but I know one thing, that I can't lose my top B wife. Kindly suggest what should I do here in this situation, who is right here? My mom or my girl? Are these asks of my girlfriend valid? Or am I missing something here? What should be the course of action here? Help. Ps have deleted my earlier post because I got overwhelmed by all the comments and it messed up my mind. Later I realized that I really needed the outside women's perspective to do the right thing here. I've deleted my earlier post because I got overwhelmed by all the comments and it messed up my mind. Yeah. It must be overwhelming to get a whole consensus across a solid dozen posts on how your girlfriend is 100% correct and justified in labeling you as a mama's boy. You generally are expected to put your spouse before your parent. But that is an unreasonable explanation for a mama's boy like you and a mooch like your mom. Given her priorities, you two should not marry. And you should start to appreciate what a drag upon your existence your mom has become. Or you will be alone for the rest of your days. Edit. This is the 7th sub you've posted this to and consistently get the same answers. So, do whatever you are going to do and stop wasting our time. You will always have your watch collection to keep you warm at night. It's time for your mother to move on. Talk with your fiancé. Tell her you'd like to at least find her a place to live and cover her expenses for the next year while she rebuilds her life. If she refuses to compromise in this manner, then break off your wedding. If your future wife is willing to treat your mother mercilessly, she'll do the same to you and your children when the time comes. If she's willing to help her get her life back together and move on, and out, then she shows a willingness to create a stable and happy marriage. Okay, look, I love my in-laws, but I would never want to live with them. I'm a private person who needs my own space to feel comfortable, and living with someone other than my husband would not be something I'm into. But wow, does your girlfriend come off bad here. From the no point of discussions, she must move immediately, to acting like she gets to decide how you spend your money, and that your mom should just find a new husband. She is behaving like an absolute asshole. That would be the takeaway for me. Not that she doesn't want to live with your mom, because I totally get that. But the why and how she's going about it are not okay. Your fiancé is right. Tell your mother she has 1 month to leave the home. Then apologize your fiancé profusely. Left shocked after my first date, me M18, she F18. Hey guys. I just had my first date in my life like 3 hours ago. I can't keep it bottled inside of me, so I'm just gonna spit it on here. First of all, the girl I had the date with was my female cousin's best friend. It all started with the girl telling my cousin that she really likes me and that she's too shy to tell me her feelings, so my cousin told me everything. I was like, alright, no problem. I had seen the girl before and I already liked her a lot due to the fact that she's very kind, cute, beautiful, and that she really likes my 2 twin siblings, F6. I asked her out to eat ice cream together and to have a good conversation in order to get us to know each other better. It went really well in my opinion, and we laughed together a lot, learned a lot from each other, and we had a really good time in general. But now here comes the turn. My female cousin came to me after the date. The girl told my cousin about the date, due to them being best friends, and she said that the girl doesn't want to do anything with me anymore and that she likes blonde, white dudes. I'm brown-skinned and I have black hair. On top of that, she's still not over her ex. They broke up like 4 months ago. Now here are the things I don't seem to understand. 1. Why the hell would she want to go out on a date with me, knowing that she likes whites, blondes? 2. Why would she want to go out on a date with me, knowing that she's still not over her ex? This was really heartbreaking for me. I never had a girlfriend before and this was literally my first date ever. I feel like the biggest fool in the world, and this date made me not wanting to have a girlfriend like ever. What if my next date will end the same way? I didn't know where to post this whole mess. I just thought about posting it here. Edit. To everyone who is saying that she just wanted to hook up with me for free food. She knew before the date that we were just gonna eat ice cream. That's it. The ice cream was literally only €1.40. If someone goes on a date with anyone for free food, that person wouldn't do it for €1.40. I mean, that much I do know. Life's long, dude, you'll have another date. No harm, no foul for trying. Keep shooting shots and don't break your stride. Experience is good with love, because when Mrs. Right comes around it's good to have some practice and charisma. Young love is fleeting, unfair, and memorable. Don't feel bad for having a failure. Lots of first dates are. Maybe, just maybe, things didn't go quite as positive on her side. You had something stuck between your teeth, or she expected you to open the door and you didn't. And she's too polite to say the truth, so she's come up with some lame excuses both to you and her friend. Sometimes happens. You had a good time, you've now had a first date, you move on. You are going to have several more first dates with ladies. Remember this feeling and deal with them honestly. If you don't feel it, don't tell them, you'll call or text them. Good luck. Have fun, safely. Don't stress. The rest of the world does not necessarily think like this. Don't take it as indicative of your future. Lose the cousin. It sounds like she either did it to you to prank you in your inexperience, or possibly she did not realize this about her friend and is explaining it to you out of embarrassment about her friend. You don't need to cut your cousin out of your life, but don't let her be your matchmaker anymore. She sounds like she holds a lot of racial biases. Good riddance. You deserve better. She's definitely a creep for this. Because she could have just simply left you alone.